So I have been at VidSummit all week this week, and I have been terrible at getting footage. Actually, I didn't intend to vlog at VidSummit. I did intend to get some footage that I could use in this video, but I just didn't. I don't know. So we're actually headed home in a few hours. My husband is at some kind of like horse thing in Fort Worth that he insisted we stay for. So I found a pretty little pond and figured we'd just do this video here. So y'all know that I was just at the Sony event last month, and then I was at VidSummit this week, and there was a common theme throughout both conferences with the people I talked to and like what people were saying and what you were hearing from people. And the theme for both was basically that nobody knows what the hell they're doing and everybody feels confused, not in the right spot, like a fraud, or like they want to make a change. Like literally everybody. I had so many conversations at the Sony event where I was talking to people who have massive followings, who are making, you know, lots of money, and they were all like, you know, like I just wish I didn't have to only blog about food all the time. Or they were like, oh, I would love to transition into being this type of creator or whatever. And what's really interesting about both of these conferences is that they were more creator focused, and I'm going to talk about that in a second. They were both kind of creator focused, and so it was really kind of interesting to see this from the creator side, because I see it from the business owner side like all the time. Like it's like a whole thing in both conferences with a lot of people saying like, you know, I'm tired of doing what I'm doing, I would like to do something else, or man, I wish I could do what she's doing, or man, I wish I could do what he's doing, or whatever. And at this conference, at VidSummit, I was actually having a conversation with a couple of other like business owner creator people, and I was saying that I felt like kind of stuck, you know, right now, and like maybe I didn't make the right decision doing what I did with my channel, and you know, starting this channel, and like all of these things. And they were like, that's how everybody feels. Everybody is out here like, oh my gosh, I wish I would have done XYZ different. I wish I didn't do XYZ. I wish I would have known XYZ. I wish I could go back and do XYZ. I wish I could do what that person's doing. And it's so freaking true. Every business owner, every creator, everybody ever that's ever done anything second guesses themselves and wants to do something else, or feels like they should be doing something else, or feels like they made a mistake, or like whatever. And it's really comforting to have those conversations with people and not feel like you're the only one. So I wanted to bring that to y'all. Like, you are not the only one. If you feel stuck or confused, or like you made the wrong decision, or like you want to make a decision, or like you don't know what you want to do, or whatever, literally everybody feels that way. Other big takeaway that I had, and by the way, yes, I know someone's gonna be like, Jessica, I need you to take your sunglasses off. I'm not taking my sunglasses off. It's bright. Okay. The second big takeaway that I have from these two conferences that I've been at lately, and this is something I talk about like all the time, okay? And that is that there is a difference between a creator and a business owner. There's a lot of differences between a creator and a business owner, but we can all learn from each other, and we should be doing what the other person is doing. Like, the business owner should be following creator tips, and the creator should be following business owner tips. And this sun's about to cause some havoc. We're gonna change scenery. So as business owners, we should really be taking note of what creators are doing. Like, how can we bring this into our business? So almost every session that I went to at VidSummit, and every conversation I had, honestly, was from the creator's perspective, and the same thing for Sony. And instead of being like, oh, this doesn't apply to me, or this isn't, you know, something that I care about as much, because I don't care about sponsorships or brand deals or whatever as much as they're talking about, you know, how can I bring what they're talking about to my business? So for instance, there was a couple of different conversations. One of the big overarching themes I noticed about VidSummit was the theme that creators are really creating their own apps and places for people to hang out with them. They're less reliant on the platforms, and they're trying to drive people over to their own platforms. And it's like, okay, I could sit here and say like that doesn't apply to me, but it actually does. Like, how could I use what these tips are to make my business better? And then vice versa. There were so many creators at both events who only have their creator hat on, who only are like, all I want to do are brand deals, affiliates, and like AdSense or platform pay. And that is absolutely not what creators should be doing. They should be building businesses. They should be, you know, selling their own things. They should be whatever. And I listened to this one session by Mindy McKnight, and she is the mom of Brooklyn and Bailey, like the really popular influencers that are way younger than me. It's weird to be like closer to their mom's age, which I'm not like super close to her age, but anyway, she was talking about how they did things and like what they're doing and how they turned their influence into business. And it was so good because I think most creators don't think about it like that. They're not thinking about like, oh, I need to create a product or I need to create, you know, whatever. And she mentioned starting with digital products. Then I was at another session that I just kind of dipped in for a second and dipped right back out of, and that person mentioned digital products or starting digitally. And then I was in another session that mentioned digital products, and I'm like, have y'all been watching my videos? Because like, I feel like you have. And honestly, the whole thing, and thinking about the whole thing, thinking about how nobody knows what the hell they're doing, everybody's wanting to do something else, everybody's confused, everybody's scared, everybody doesn't know what to do, and that creators aren't thinking like businesses and businesses aren't thinking like creators, it really inspired me and like helped me be able to like clear my head, which was super nice. And I think in the beginning of this video I said I had 2 main takeaways, but I actually have 3. And the third one is that networking is hella powerful. And I know that you know this. I know that I've talked about this before. I know that everybody has talked about this before, but it is so freaking powerful. I brought my husband with me on this trip, and I didn't buy him a ticket to the conference because that would have been stupid, but he went and like explored. Like one day he went and found Dale Brisby's warehouse and like actually met Dale. He was so excited. I'll show a picture here. If you don't know who Dale Brisby is, Google him. He is an amazing, he's a YouTuber, and he is an amazing example of how to build like a raving fan base and community. And also it's like super fun to see another like really small town dude doing super really amazing things. So anyway, he went and did things like that, and I was at the conference, but he did go with me to 2 different dinners. The first night we went to a Uscreen party. So Uscreen was there, and y'all know I love Uscreen, and they invited me to this like pizza party, and he went with me to that. And then the second night he went with me to meet up with Emily Baker to have dinner with her and several other people. And honestly, the first night he was so overwhelmed, and there were only like 20 people there, number 1. But number 2, he kept saying like, wow, I get it. Like, I get why you come and do these things. He was like, if the conference is obviously a larger scale than this party, but you're networking and you're meeting people, and you're meeting people that you wouldn't have otherwise known, and those people will become your friends or your colleagues or, you know, whatever. And I'm like, yes, yes, networking is so freaking powerful because you meet people that you didn't know before. You further relationships with people that maybe you had a relationship with before, but you didn't know them super well. And networking is never going to be a problem, like ever. You are going to meet people, you're going to get invited to things, you're going to stay on people's radar by networking, and it is so powerful. So yeah, if you want to share in my takeaways, my like overarching takeaways, because I actually feel super inspired after leaving VidSummit from a business perspective, because again, like I came into this like I don't even know where I fit in this whole thing. Like I feel like, did I just abandon my 200,000 subscriber channel? And like, is that something I should have done? Like what am I doing? I don't know. But I feel really inspired. Number 1, the overarching, like these are the things that I learned and I feel really good about, the lessons that I learned, and I want to share them with you. That's them. Number 1, nobody knows what the hell they're doing at all. Everybody wants to be doing something else. Everybody's scared. Everybody's afraid. Everybody feels stuck. It doesn't matter how big or small you are. It's a thing. Number 2, creators and business owners really need to be taking note of each other. Oh my goodness, this is such a thing. Number 3, networking is freaking king. All right, my voice isn't doing well. I'm sure you can hear that. But isn't this park like super pretty? Super pretty park. So my plan, while my husband was at this like horse thing, was to go to the stockyards because we're in downtown Fort Worth right now. And I was like, oh, I'll go to the stockyards and like look at all of that. Like there wasn't anything going on because it's a Friday morning at 8:30, and there wasn't anywhere for me to sit down and do something like this. So I pieced out Girl Scout, and now I'm at a park with a bunch of quacking ducks. I hope y'all can hear those. So I'm gonna go find Jonathan. We have to leave out of Fort Worth in about 2 hours to head to our flight, but let's go find Jonathan, see what he is up to.